So today we will start with the introduction of SAS language, which are the industry that SAS is being heavily used, and we will try to see the overview of the SAS environment, how the interface is, and how we can write the SAS program. So all those things we will be covering it today. So the first section would be like understanding the SAS environment. Okay, so these are the content that I will be going through it today. Introduction to SAS, then how we can access the SAS datasets, what is the Explorer window, what is the result window, what are the program editor or the editor, what are the log window, right? What are the output window, okay. So coming to the introduction of SAS, so basically SAS stands for statistical analysis system. So this was built in around year 1976, okay. So in the North Carolina State University, okay. And then after that, SAS Institute was incorporated around 1980s, okay. So basically this software was introduced for the analysis of the agricultural purpose. They wanted to understand about the agricultural data, and that's the reason they had built this software, okay. And after that, then it has evolved into different vertical or different domain, and right now we can see like almost every domain we are using SAS, right? So basically like these are the few of the domains that SAS are being heavily used, whether whether it is a insurance domain, or whether it is a life sciences pharmaceutical domain, right? Or whether we need to analyze financial services sector, right? Everywhere we are seeing SAS is being heavily used. So basically the data integration part and the security that SAS provides, right? So this is basically a paid software, right? And the data security that SAS provide, none of the free or open source tool would be providing it, right? So these are the different domain or different sector where SAS is being heavily used, okay. So right now SAS Studio is being used, or it has been moved to SAS Studio by many of the companies. But the previous version was a standalone application where we used to install SAS in either in the cloud environment or in our standalone desktop, right? So basically, if 2 3 year or 4 year back when we were accessing SAS, right? This is how we used to go and open the SAS window in our program folder. We used to go and we used to search for SAS and we used to access SAS. So once SAS was being opened, this is the screen that we used to get it. So here we used to have different SAS screen where we had editor window, log window, output window, explorer window, result window, right? And if you see a complete holistic view of SAS screen, so this was something it used to be. So where we had explorer window was this tab, and this was the explorer window where we had all the library section, and then the result window was there. Then we used to write the code here, editor window, right? And then we used to get the output in the output window, right? These were the log window where we used to get the output about the detail, how many data set or observation has been created. This was the run window, right? This was the basic UI of the SAS screen. And if you see these window, so these used to tell us what inside each of the SAS windows lies. So this was the Explorer window where we used to have the libraries, right? All our data set that are being created, either it is in a permanent library or a temporary library, right? So these were the window screens that we used to get it in SAS. And this was the editor window, right? Where we used to write the code. Then was our log window where we used to get the detail, right? Where either we used to get the error detail or the comment section, right? Or the note section, which we call it, right? And then the output window where we can see the output of our data set that has been created. and then the result window, right? So this was basically the previous versions that were being used by the SaaS, but right now most of the companies are being switched into the SaaS Studio, right, which is basically 9.4 versions of SaaS that is being used, right? So two ways you can access now SaaS freely. Okay, one is by SaaS University Edition. So SaaS University Edition, you have to download a virtual machine, okay, and then you need to import that SaaS software inside that. Okay, other thing is by accessing SaaS on demand. Okay, so SaaS on demand is a UI based web app. So this would be something like this, where you need to go and create your account, okay, and you will get different sort of software. So you will get SaaS Studio, you will get Enterprise, you will get Enterprise Minor for the education purpose. So there you can go and practice SaaS. So the new screen or the new UI would be looking like something like this, where you can write the code and run your code. Okay, so coming to the new UI, so this is the UI how right now the current SaaS or SaaS Studio, which we call, is the UI part. Okay, so in this also we will be having like different windows, right? So SaaS log would be looking something like this, SaaS result would be looking like this, right? SaaS Explorer window would be looking like this, where we will be having all the libraries and all, right? And then we will be coming to the other part. So let me go through this the SaaS UI part first. Okay, so basically when we were talking about the older versions of SaaS, right, where I was telling you about the editor window, so this would be basically a editor window in the new UI of SaaS Studio. Okay, this would be the log window, where we will be seeing the error warning and notes, right? What are the error if we are getting any error in our programs, right? So error will be there, warning will be there if our programs are ran successfully, right? So we will be getting the note section here, and this would be the result of the data set that we are creating it, right? Coming to the library, so this would be something like the library part, where our all the libraries will be there, whether it is temporary or the permanent libraries that we are creating it, right? All libraries. And this section would be something like the server and the folder part. Okay, server and the folder part, where we will be having our data set stored here. Okay, and we would be accessing if we want to access any external data set, we need to go and upload the data set, and then we can practice it from here, right? So I have already uploaded few of my data set. So this is one data set and this is one data set. I've uploaded it here. Okay, coming to SaaS programming style structure, right? So basically SaaS have two steps. So one is called as data step and other is called as proc step. Okay, so basically the data step is something like dealing with the creation of the data set. Okay, where we try to create new data set, or we try to create or modify the existing data set, right? So that step deals called as data step. And proc step is something like where we want to view our result. Okay, so proc step is something called as the procedure, which SaaS has already predefined it. Okay, based on certain rules or based on the certain criteria, we just want to analyze and process our data, okay, to produce a meaningful insight or report. Okay, so we will try to create few of the program, okay, and then we will see the output how it comes. Okay, so there are set of rules how we need to create the variable or how we need to define our library. Okay, so that we will be discussing in further classes. Okay, okay, so this is something like the how we can write our program. Okay, so basically SAS is a free structure program. Okay, it ends with a semicolon. Okay, and it's a free structure programming language. We don't have to be like is precise, like it should be written in the next line after a sentence is getting complete. You can write the complete program in one line, okay, separated by a semicolon. So there is no boundary or no restriction about how you are writing a SAS program. Okay. Other thing is it is a you can write it in both the cases. You can write a program in uppercase or you can write a program in lowercase. So there is no restriction of to write a program in capital letter or in a small letter, right? It's not a case sensitive programming language. Like for example, if you see Python, right? So it's a case sensitive. If you have written test and T is capital, once you call that data set, it should be in the same case. T should be capital, then only that data set will be called, right? So this is case insensitive programming language. So coming to our the programming, so let's create one program. So basically I'm running one program. So here you will see like I'm creating a program that is data set that is first, okay, where x I'm defining 3 and y I'm defining 5, right? Where these would be called as the variable. Okay, so my x is one variable, y is another variable. Okay, and then I'm running means I'm stopping my program by a run statement. So if I run this, so you will see my one data set has been created, work.dataset, work.first dataset has been created. And if I want to see the output, I have to write proc. Okay, so proc print is a procedure that gives us the output of the dataset that we want to see. So if I run this proc print, you would be seeing the result. Okay, so my x contains 3 and y contains 5. Okay, so this is my first program. Okay, so directly here I have defined like x equal to 3 and y equal to 5. Okay, so the standard structure of writing SAS program is something like defining the variable first and then giving the observation to it. And observation is being given by data lines or card. Okay, so if you see my second program. Okay, so here again I am creating one data set that is called as second. Okay, that is second, where I have taken two input, that is m and n. Okay, that is m and n, and then I have defined, I am inserting the value of m and n below with the help of data line. So I have written a data line and then I am inserting the observation in it. Okay, so if I run this, you would be seeing work.second, a data set has been created. And if I want to see the observation, so again I have to write proc print data equal to second and then run. Okay, so we can see our observation m and n is showing us there are 6 observation here, 6 rows are there where we have the variable m and n, right? So these both are my continuous variable, right? There is no categorical variable in it. Everything is continuous or integer, right? But if suppose we have a categorical variable in our data set, suppose we have a categorical variable in data set, let me create a categorical variable data set. Okay, so for example, my this variable, third variable, that is apple, banana, or oregon, pepper, like this is a basically a categorical variable, right? And input I am giving mno, right? Mno I am giving as my input. So let me run this. Okay, so my data set has been created. I can see my work dot data or work dot third has been created, but in O column I am seeing there are no observation. Whereas in my code I had given apple, banana, oregano, paper, mango, orange, right? All these I have given it, right? If I come and see in my log window, so you will see something as this rule: invalid data for output in line 74, 8 to 12, right? That means there is some error. So if you see this underscore error underscore equal to 1, so that means there is some error in our program, right? So basically, when we are creating a categorical data set in SAS, right? So we need to define that data set with a with a dollar symbol. Okay, so for example, if I am creating this data set, suppose I am giving fourth. Okay, so what we have to do, whenever we are creating a categorical column, right? Whenever we are creating a categorical column, this column name should be followed by a dollar symbol. Then only SAS will go and recognize it as a categorical column. Else it will recognize this as a integer column, and we will not be getting the desired output. Okay, so the first rule of creating a categorical column, if we are defining a categorical column, so we have to end it with a dollar symbol so that SAS can recognize it. So if now I run this program, so we'll see work.fourth has been created, and we can see the value. We can see in O column, we can see the value as apple, banana, oregon, paper, mango, and orange, right? And you will also see for integer value or for numerical value, m or n is from the right hand side, right? M and n are on the right hand side, and O is from starting from the left hand side, right? So this is also one of the property of SAS dataset. Okay, fine. So this is basically to give you an overview, like how we can write a program, how we can see the output and all those. So we will be discussing all the detail, like how to define the permanent library, what is the syntax, what are the rules of creating the uh, variable name, how many bytes or how many character we can use it to create these variable name. All those we will be discussing it. So basically this is the intro session, and we are just seeing it how what are the windows, what is the interface, and how we can create the data set. Okay, so there are few options also in SAS. So basically, like if you see right now, right, if I go and write proc print on this, proc print data equal to fourth, fourth is my data set, and if I run it, right, so if I run it, I will be seeing all the observation here, all my 6 observation, right? But I don't want to see my all observation here. Okay, so that also we can control it. So there is something called as options in SAS. Okay, there is something called options in SAS where we can define or we can control our outputs. Okay, we can define or we can control our output. So for example, if I write OBS equal to 4 as one option, as one of, there are n number of option which we will be seeing it, but right now I want to see just 4 observation in my output data set. So I can define OBS equal to 4. Okay, and if I run this, you will see we are only seeing now only 4 observation, right? Now I want in within this six observation, I want to start with the second observation and end at fifth observation. So for that we have something as first OBS. Okay, first OBS equal to 2 and OBS equal to 4. So if we run this, so we will see our observation has started from second observation and then it has ended at the fourth observation, right? So these are the uh, options, like this is how we can define our options to control our output of the result. Okay, we will be seeing all the options as well. Okay, so this is basically like how look and feel of SaaS UI is, and how we, so you would see like all the data set that I have created, whether it is first data set or whether it is the second data set, right? All have been created uh, in work library. So if I go in library and my library, so you would see something as work library. So there are two type of library in SaaS. One is called permanent library and another one is called as temporary library, right? So we'll see like how we can create permanent library. Okay, so here if you open this, so you will see like my all the four data set is created in work library. So work library is called as temporary library because once this session, if you stop it, these all data set would be dropped. Okay, they would not exist in your the next session. Okay, that's the reason we it is called as work library. So if we go and create a permanent library, so whenever we open another session, you would see like that library exist, and you will have all your data set that has been created there. Okay, so we will see in the next video how we can create permanent library, how we can define the length of these categorical variable, right? What are these variable? All those details we will be covering in the next video.